Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hello, sweet goddess, and welcome to this week's Thankful to Thrive Thursday. And as we go and grow on this journey, I am definitely finding myself more and more in that thriving space. But that's what happens when you allow yourself to reclaim your power. And that means to allow yourself to take the action steps that you need to take your power back. To then shift from barely surviving to fully rising and thriving. For those of you new to my channel, my name is Rochelle. Welcome to Empowerment Experiences, where we are looking for and finding our power all along that which is this self-love empowerment journey. And for so many of us, that includes a healing twin flames twist, right? The self-love empowerment journey on steroids, as I like to say, and where my counterpart and I are, let's just say I am so grateful that I know my soul's calling. I know what lights me up. I know what I love to be doing. And when I allow myself to get into that space, I am in turn allowing myself to feel amazing, because I love doing these videos. I love doing these empowerment messages, as I call them, these intuitive readings. I love creating my other videos and content, and my creativity has been sorely lacking for quite a while, and that happens to us when we are in survival mode. When you are actually expressing your creativity, you are in more of a thriving space, because you are allowing yourself to expand, to blossom. And this includes the visions that you have, the reality that you've been being asked to create, that you can thrive in no matter what your counterpart is ever doing, where you are in such a state of self-empowerment, of self-love empowerment, that your happiness does not rely on someone else's presence. That instead, someone else's presence amplifies the joy and happiness and abundance and blessings that you already feel. That's how it's supposed to be. Because when we rely on something outside of ourselves, including and especially our counterpart in the physical world, then we are going to always be disappointed. We're always going to experience this lack, this unfulfillment, because we have to be responsible for the filling of our own cup. We cannot depend on something or someone outside of us, because all things in this life are temporary. At one point or another, you or your counterpart is going to exit this world first. And then you really will just have the 5D. However, if you can be constantly coming home to yourself, anchoring into your power, and taking responsibility for your happiness and your joy, and looking for how you can be happy and joyful about your connection, no matter where it is on this journey, no matter where your counterpart is. Right now, I admit I am definitely purging through some anger, some frustration with my counterpart at our 3-year anniversary yesterday. But that said, it's recognizing that's for myself as well, that I'm not necessarily angry at him. I'm very much angry with myself, apparently, for some of the decisions that I made regarding him, right? And we do that to ourselves. We look at what we did wrong rather than all the beauty that came out of that perception of that which we think is wrong. In every perceived mistake can be found a divine blessing. That is something that my counterpart actually taught me especially through a movie that he insisted I watch in the beginning of our relationship. And now that movie is, it's certainly not where we are at all. And you may even have heard me mention, I have actually blocked him. I'm giving myself the respect and honoring my space and my energy that is long overdue when it comes to him. And it's recognizing that I was giving my power away to him by being distracted with him. And that would in turn be something that keeps you in that barely surviving space because you're struggling. You are hemorrhaging energy into someone else's world by giving your focus and attention to them. You're focusing on them. And this is one of my greatest challenges, I feel, and I just caught 555. I have been having 555 everywhere. Yesterday at the grocery store, my total was $55.55. And then as I was pulling out of the parking lot, I barely backed out of my spot and there was a license plate with 555. So very, very clearly, 555 is massive in its messaging right now, because to really be shifting into thriving goddess, it is that intentional creation. It is intentional manifestation. It is you recognizing yourself as the creator of your experience that you are, seeing the magic in yourself, that in order again to thrive, you reclaim your power to intentionally manifest a dream and to not give up on those. And that includes union with your twin. Believe me when I say, deep within, that's what I want. It's just my ego has some things to say right now, has some wounds to be healing that really, quite honestly, are long overdue. And they require him to stay at a distance, or I just might say things to him that I don't want to. I don't want to be that person. So instead, it's taking that step back and honoring my energy and getting excited about my life and what I'm creating, and to stop giving so much energy and attention to him when it's clearly not reciprocated. And that's something that we as divine feminines have to be very aware of in this connection. If our counterpart is healing wounded masculine aspects of himself, the last thing we want to be is in the midst of that, because we have our own wounded masculine aspects within ourselves to be healing. Same with the wounded feminine. He has the same within him. And really what I've come to find as excruciating as this journey is, I've got to tell you, sister, once you get past that initial withdrawal space and you start to really shift into your power and into pleasure in your life for yourself, it does feel better. It feels better in the letting him go and recognizing that, wow, I do deserve for him to treat me better, and he doesn't get to treat me like this. And if this is how he's going to treat me, then he doesn't get to be in my life. And that is very much, very, very much what I feel the collective that I speak to in the twin flame community, that we have in our twin flame dynamic, is we have these cycles that in order to break them, we have to be the ones to say no more. I mean, as I'm doing that, what's coming to mind is in this moment to kind of make it a joke a little bit, but at the same time not, and to express that ego side, that little orneriness. It's the brick wall, Free Willy, here comes Flipper, right? I love that little thing there. But that's literally, that's where I am in my connection. And I have to tell you, sister, I feel so much better today than I did yesterday, our anniversary day, because of doing this, because of recognizing this pattern in myself of giving my energy away to my counterpart. Freaking allergy drainage. I'm almost over it. I'm just like, I'm right there. Excuse me. So we are, and that the coughs right there are very symbolic of expressing yourself, allowing yourself to be expressed, and to not dim your light, especially for your counterpart, not to put your life on hold because of whatever the fuck he may or may not be doing. It is time for you, Goddess, and that is why I am very much ready for this Thankful to Thrive Thursday. I am recording it, as I usually do, Tuesday evening, and that's why I'm saying yesterday, because yesterday was technically Monday, 9/20, which is the anniversary date for my twin flame coming into my life. On October 3rd, it will be the day that I actually decided to reply back to him, because my intuition would not leave me alone. After I had a whole, why did I accept his friend request? I have no reason to accept his friend request. This does not make any sense. And so I ignored his first message until I couldn't any longer. And my intuition was just poke, 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 poke. So that is why I'm saying yesterday. I am so very intrigued because, like I said, I'm allowing myself to dream again with the way the world has transpired this last year and a half. I admit that I was dimming my own light and trampling my own dreams, telling myself, we don't live in a world where dreams can come true anymore. I'm not allowed to travel, because that was my vision before this whole scam-demic happened. Is I was supposed to be meeting my counterpart in Bangkok last April. And well, obviously that couldn't happen. And then it was pushed back to September. Obviously that couldn't happen. And it just kind of got thrown up in the air. And in a lot of ways, in my mind, it floated away. My dreams were completely shattered. They were in ruin, in ashes. But this is why we have a soul tribe, soul sisters, soul family, in one way, shape, or form, to have someone, even just one, be able to reach out to you and in that pile of ashes, be able to find that one still burning ember and revive that fire within you. And say, you want to go back to India? Let's look at this. How can we make this happen for you? And she has literally put renewed hope, regardless of what happens. It is that space of reminding ourselves that everything is temporary. And yes, we will be traveling the world. That I had no idea how much I wanted that until this last year and a half happened. That I didn't want to end up in a house full of cats out in the country. I want to be flying around the world, 1 week doing my coaching from one country, the next week in another country. Or if I'm in India, being in one place in India 1 week and then another place the next week, just really exploring this entire world. Because as I have said before, the world is my home. This planet is my home. I am a human being. I am an earthling. All right, at least for this lifetime, in this incarnation, I am of the earth. Okay, that is home planet. Okay. Because, dear Goddess, and this is why I want to point out, this is exactly why these messages have been amplifying your need. It is a need. It is necessary for you to create a vision for yourself. Because for me, I'm excited about traveling the world by myself. Yeah, way back with my counterpart, it started as him and I traveling the world. And as we went through our activation phase and then started into this separation phase, because that was extremely excruciating. Being able to create out of that a vision for myself that I could be excited about. And here I am. I'm actually kind of very much rejuvenated and excited and reinvigorated with my dreams. So right now, Goddess, in order to again be rising and thriving, you have to allow it for yourself. You have to facilitate what needs to be facilitated in order for you to create this vision and align with this vision. I'm sitting here going, I like that. So I have no problem with the stuff I want to keep ending up in a storage unit for while I'm traveling. I even have a notebook that I'd already started with, of a checklist of everything that I need to take with me. What processes I need to, make sure is handled, is covered, is taken care of, my checklist. Am I getting ready to be ready for my vision? So exciting times. So I am, again, very excited and eager to see what empowerment message comes through, because I am certain I am not the only goddess finding herself in this space of going, you know what? Wow, it really does feel good to let him go. Now, that's not going to say that, believe me, I let him go, and then I start to that, especially that empath side, because I'm finally finishing up recording the videos for my Empowering Empaths Knowing Narcissist course that I've had for like 3 years now. And I just haven't fully updated it, and I'm finally getting it updated. And so I'm in that empath, state, empaths and narcissists. And I kind of got off where I went because I mentioned I was updating this for the course. Oh my goodness. But very much, yeah. Oh, that my empath self, wow, that my empath self is like, oh, but he's just having his hard time too, and that's why we say things out of anger because of this, or just making those excuses that especially empaths like to do to justify behaviors, especially when it's patterned behavior. The only way to really change patterned behavior is to do something different to create a different result. And I really feel for a lot of us divine feminines that, like I said, that my message resonates with, for the breaking out of the twin flame trap and really stepping into your power. That's what I'm about, is that, and oh, that's interesting. It keeps kind of slipping away there. Holy moly, that's intriguing. Well, apparently we're supposed to just get into this, right here, right now. So first and foremost, ground yourself. As you're creating this vision, as you are preparing yourself for this vision, you're going to get excited, and you're going to experience this space where it may start to feel like it's too much. Like believe me, traveling the world, that's big. Putting my stuff in storage and just jet setting around the world, that's a pretty big commitment, right? I would literally be forfeiting the roof over my head and just flying by the seat of my pants, shall we say. And that is a little bit, that's a tad exhilarating. I'm not going to deny. The thought of that just really exhilarates me. And by myself too, exciting times. But yeah, so you're going to find that all of a sudden those fears, those doubts, everything are going to creep in and try to sabotage your vision, try to sabotage your dream, and say, but how is it going to happen? But when is it going to happen? How can it be like this? How is not your job. How is not your job. And when you are grounding yourself, one of the grounding practices to utilize is visualization, to actually sit in a meditative state and visualize the vision that you desire to manifest. When you think about your twin flame, visualize what you would like to be experiencing with him. Not what it has been, but literally visualize that and anchor into that vision, ground into that vision through grounding practices. That is definitely how we thrive. We rise and thrive. Tune into that intuition. You know. Don't allow the ego to sabotage your dreams. It's one thing if it comes close and you look and you say, you know what, I really wanted that, and you talked me out of it, and you being yourself, right? I really wanted that, and you talked me out of that because of this, that, or the other, because we didn't know how it was going to happen, where the money was going to come from, when we were going to be together, when the world was going to open up, all these limitations, all these limiting stories that in this very exact moment, it doesn't matter because you kind of have you need to get some ducks in a row on your pond because they're kind of going all over the place. And one of the ways of getting those ducks in a row is to quiet your mind, to tune into your intuition and trust it. Allow yourself to get excited. Allow yourself to dream big. Allow yourself to visualize something that you have yet to experience, that you don't know how the fuck you're going to get there or how it's going to happen. But damn it, you sure as fuck want it. It lights you up. It feels good. It's exciting to you. It inspires you to feel passion. And this, for me, traveling the world, oh my goodness, and doing my coaching from anywhere around the world, oh my God, that truly excites me so much. I had even was planning on doing a launch for my power program, my Manifesting with Self-Love power program. It's like a 10-week program. If I do it all crunched together and do a session every week, a group session, and I was planning on doing that, you know, while I was in, or it's 8 weeks, and I can make it into an 8-week program. It's a lot. It's a lot of content, but it's a boot camp, right? An 8-week boot camp. I had it all planned out. I was going to do it from Bangkok because I could get a 60-day visa. So I'd do my 60 days in Bangkok, and then I'd go to India, and I would do another, course launch a couple months later after that. It's what excites you, Goddess. The only one who is limiting you is you, especially if you're doing it because of what the fuck he's doing. If you truly trust that you are eternally connected, it ain't gonna freaking matter if you block him and go away right now, dude. I don't need your shit right now. You're bringing me down. You're being toxic. We clearly have some wounds to heal and some cycles to break. It's time to end these patterns. And that means for you to make what changes need to be made, to allow yourself to get fucking excited. This is how you're really truly gonna feel like you're thriving in your experience here. You are here to live your life to the fullest, no matter what he's doing. And there isn't enough compassion and love to change him the way you want him to change. He has to find that for himself. He has to find that love enough within himself to change what needs changing, for him to be thriving in his life. But I promise you, Goddess, you illuminate that path, you amplify your bat signal to show him the way, even though he may not be talking to you, and it may not be the best of circumstances right now, but I promise you, his higher self, he sees your beacon. He sees your bat signal, and he's going to guide your counterpart where he needs to go to get to you when the time is right, when we are both ready for it. And right now, I can tell you right now, I'm not ready for him. I really just want to travel by myself for a minute. I want to experience a life completely on my own terms again, not feeling trapped in my house. I really want to experience life. I used to be so afraid of life. I used to be afraid to leave my house. I had no idea that I wanted to travel the world. And I promise you, Goddess, there's probably something inside you that you really have no idea how passionate you really are about it, because you've not given yourself the chance to feel that. Right? And this will come from listening to that intuition and grounding yourself, really getting out of your head and dropping into your heart space. And by that, I mean that heart space for yourself. What feels good for you? What can you do for you, Goddess, that excites you, that is going to ignite that fire within you to go after something that's not your twin, it's not your counterpart? Let him do whatever the fuck he be doing. Okay? Yeah, again, brick wall, free willy, here comes Flipper. Let him go do his shit. Because you are anchored in the knowing, you're grounded in the truth that you and he are eternally connected, and there is no way to sever that connection. It's only the ego that wants, that not just wants, but craves and feels as though it needs that physical relationship right now. When quite honestly, if you really allow yourself to look within yourself, you'll find that you are crying out to spend time with you, right? Oof. And be ready for the rebirth. We have been experiencing countless ego deaths this past year and a half, very much so, because you have to be shedding or allowing for aspects of yourself to die, right? To dissipate, to fall away, so that the true you can continue to rise from beneath all of those layers of bullshit. That is what it is to be reborn. You're constantly being reborn into a next and new version of yourself. And as you claim your power more and more, you're going to be more empowered then to be more clear on who this version of yourself is that you desire to be. Who are you ready to step into? Because as the healer that you are, this is what you've been doing. You have been healing. And it is time for you to be up-leveling your game and leading by example. And even if you are not feeling called to guide others along their healing journey, you definitely have an impact on others' healing journeys by you leading by example in your own healing journey and showing those in your world what it is to be empowered, what it is to really truly be loving yourself and owning your power and creating your life on purpose, what it is to go from barely surviving to rising and thriving. That is what healing does. It brings about miracles. And it allows you to see the miracle that is you. You are in and of yourself a miracle, Goddess. The odds of you existing are so astronomical. And there is only one you of this version of you that you are. And that's all there ever will be. So you are the one that has to recognize the miracle that you are, and that will in turn open you up for receiving miracles in your experience, because like attracts like. That is this law of attraction. And this is why you are being called to reinvent yourself, to experience, to allow for this rebirth into the version of yourself that is passionate about life, passionate about something that lights you up, because that raises your vibration, and miracles are high vibration. When you can really begin to feel that magic that you are and the magic in the world around you, the only person that ever stops you from feeling that, from experiencing that, is you. Through the stories that you tell, through the disallowing of yourself to feel love, to feel supported, to feel excited. I once knew someone who she said, oh, I don't let myself get too excited because, then I may get super down. And I'm kind of like, I like being super excited. It feels fucking amazing to be super excited. I mean, holy crap, when I was going to India, it was so amazing. I was even speaking with someone this morning, and he was like, he's my coach, Romania is where he is. And he was telling me that he was like, that was your only trip? And I said, yeah, that was my first trip ever. That was what got me my passport. My beloved is the very thing that truly ignited my passion for travel, for wanting to experience the world. He did that for me, and I didn't realize how much I wanted it until him. And that is the other thing that your twin flame does for you, is helps you to reconnect or connect with the passions within you, the passion period within you, the pleasure space within you. It amplifies not just your bad, but your good too. So allow yourself to utilize this mirroring and say, what first did attract him to me? What excited us? What was exciting for us? What did he bring into my life that inspired excitement within me? All right, really, again, allow yourself to see yourself. So, moving on, shall we? Lightworker cards. I have a feeling we just might get a whole handful of these too today, because it just seems as though there is a lot to be said. And boom, this is exactly what is happening here with this message today. Is you are seeding the light. You are laying foundations for your divine plan unfolding. This is why it's so important for you to allow yourself to get excited, because right now is the creation space. Right now is the seed sprouting space, right? You're planting the seeds and you got to wait for them puppies to sprout before you can really begin to nurture those puppies and for them to grow into this lush, glorious masterpiece of a vision. It started as a little itty bitty seedling, and right now this is where we are, is we're in the seed to seedling space of your vision, right? So now is the preparation phase. Now is the plant and prepare. You are not at the harvest space, goddess. We are not, it is not the harvest. It's not harvest time. It may have been the harvest moon, I believe, or else that's October. Was this the harvest moon? I think this was the harvest moon. September, I think, is the harvest moon, or else October. And I think it's, yeah, I digress. I believe it was this month. But it is not harvest time, not in the unfolding of your path, of your journey, of your vision. It is not time to harvest. You have barely begun planting the seeds. You have barely begun growing the garden, because for a while, and you have to admit this, goddess, this is where you own your power, right? Where you take that shit back. You've been watering the weeds over there, right? Haven't you? You've been focusing on all the things that aren't working, and all this, feeding into all the stories of why it can't happen, of why it will never happen, and all that bullshit, right? Belief systems, beliefs that you have, stories that you're telling, right? So you're barely beginning to plant and sprout your garden right now. You're still clearing away the freaking weeds, okay? So trust your journey. And this is why being grounded and getting grounded is so important. This is why that healing is so vital, and this reinvention of yourself. You get to choose who you are, goddess. Have you actually taken the time to sit down and get clear on who is the best version of you? Confident, strong, supportive of others, compassionate, shows up, ready for any adventure, is eager to explore what this world has to offer. That's what I'm talking about, right? She lights up the room when she walks into it. Her shoulders are held high. Her shoulders are back, her chin held high. She's sure of herself. She trusts herself and can laugh it off when, it's a mistake. Oh, well, that's just information. That just taught me something. I'm not mad. I learned something. I'm grateful that I learned something. You see what I mean? So get clear on who this reinvention of you are, and where are you being called to journey to. It's actually really divine that this card shows up, because as I've mentioned, world traveling and realizing that is so very much what I want to do. I really don't have anything tying me anywhere. I just have my 2 kitty kids that are older, and I would, have to manifest a home for them while I'm traveling, because they are definitely, especially Treya, definitely not a traveler. They're homebodies, very much homebodies. And Chanel's a really good critter getter. She loves getting crickets, and she knows her job, and she is good at her job, just gotta say. But where are you being called to journey to, goddess? Where would you like to experience life? Huh? Even if it's a staycation, I don't care. But where are you being called? And why? The power of the question why is so immense, because it's like a flower, right? That here's what you want. It's the closed flower. And then when you ask why, it's like the flower blooms like, well, here you go. Here's all this additional beauty for you to behold. That is kind of like what why does for me. All right. So I am grabbing the Lightworker cards again. So, oof, obviously we had at least one more little message here. Stop overthinking. You're already doing it, Goddess. Stop making it more difficult than it needs to be. Okay? As we've already been working on the rebirth journey, the healing journey, you're already doing it, right? And this is a major facet of the healing journey, is the reinvention of yourself, is the recognizing the power that you have to create your reality on purpose by choosing who you are, who you're showing up in the world as. You can be and do and have anything. It's only the ego that's going to tell you something different. It is the ego that is going to get in your way. We don't get in the way of each other's realities. We only get in the way of our own. And it's so true, because we feed into the illusions, the limitations. We water the weeds. We feed the chaos, right? We focus on all the things that are not working for us, all the things that are out of alignment with us. Yet out of chaos comes order. Right? We are able to look at things and distinguish that, that's not serving me, so that one's out. Or that is serving me. So you start to, it's kind of like, I guess what I'm visualizing is maybe, mixing up, I don't know, dominoes, for instance, dominoes. Or, first, that's what I'm seeing is the bingo. When you have all the balls rolling around and it looks like chaos in the ball pit as they're rotating the balls around, but when that ball falls out, boom, it's like, number 555, even though it's not normally that high on bingo balls, but number 555, right? And then you put it in its place of 555. So see order out of chaos. I love that. Oh my goodness. I was like, what? At first I'm like, what I was translating into words wasn't exactly it, but there it was, bingo, order out of chaos. That's what happens through purification. When you cleanse this toxicity out of you, when you release these things that are contradicting you and your desires and what it is you would like to be creating for yourself, especially who you would like to be, how you would like to show up, rather than say, oh my God, it's because I'm not good enough. You say, well, wait a minute. It's because I have been dimming my light and not allowing myself to be strong and confident and sure and trust my intuition and trust my path and trust my strengths and trust my journey. Instead, I have been undermining myself every step of the way. So I've actually been perpetuating the very toxicity within myself that has been needing to be released, to be cleansed. And so that is part of that rebirth process. That is a part of this healing journey, is releasing, purifying the toxic patterns, the toxic behaviors, the toxic thoughts, the toxic relationships out of our lives that are out of alignment with the reality we desire to be creating. And this includes with our counterparts. If there are toxic cycles, again, right now with the empowering empaths knowing narcissists, there's so much of this coming up. When we can purify that out, we create space for something so much better to be birthed in its place. The rebirth, the reinvention. And that's exactly what is happening here. But what is it that you are stepping into, Goddess? That is the order out of chaos. You've got to be the one to see the chaos that has been your life, the chaos that has been your twin flame journey, and say, wait a motherfucking minute here. It's time to clean this shit up. It's like spring cleaning in the garage or in the attic, and you go in there and you look at it and you're like, oh God, I don't think I want to do this. Well, when you get it all done, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this. I feel so amazing and I'm so excited about anything and everything that's to come. Woo woo, I can handle it. I'm ready. Bring it. Right? Because you've purified, you've cleansed yourself of toxic things that were weighing you down. Right? And then, wow, magic and miracles. Holy moly. And again, as you clear and release these things that are toxic and weighing you down, it's like ridding the body of a disease. As you rid the body of a disease, you feel like a whole new person. You feel invincible even. You feel the magic within you. And I realized that I have gotten so loud during this session today, and it's because I am excited, I am passionate, oh my goodness, there's just such good energy coming through me right now. And having this magic and miracles. So what is the mantra? Let's say it again. I know magic and miracles can happen and cause my life to shift and change in a single moment. Dear sweet goddess, I encourage you to write that mantra down and to hang it around on sticky notes, along with the self-love question that we've got to ask ourselves regularly, right? What is the most loving thing I can do for myself in this moment? Right? Really, truly connecting with the magic of you and allowing for that magic and miracles to expand, and just for you to get excited about your journey, about your life. Now is that time. We are past the point of feeling as though humanity has lost, it's all over. We are the way showers, we are the change makers, we are the light bringers, we are the light warriors. And therefore it is our responsibility to see the light no matter how dark it gets, and in turn to be that light, because we see that the light has always been within ourselves. And so we are here to be that light. That said, not feeling a message from the Divine Masculine today, but we are going to definitely, explore some angel numbers here. In addition to the 555, we have here today, looky there, 888, definite abundance on that, and 202. So we have 555, 888, and 202. Let's just explore. Get my phone lit up here while I'm waiting for that to take forever. There it is. Let me see. Let's see here. Give me a moment. And angel numbers we have for 555, which is the first one. Intentional manifestation, I definitely can tell you that right now. Changes are coming, and changes are coming because you're facilitating those, right? When you change within yourself, you change the world outside of you. True change begins when you choose to truly change, and that means to truly change you. And when you change you change your point of attraction, and therefore you change your experience. You are the catalyst. So right now, embrace and allow the changes. Allow for the things that are begging to fall away, allow for them to fall away. And again, this includes if right now you need to put space in between your counterpart and you because it's just too triggering, you guys are perpetuating cycles that are not serving either one of you, then do what you need to do to change the cycle, to break the pattern. You are the catalyst, goddess. You choose how you respond. Let go of what no longer serves you. These are all 555 messages. You are creating your reality. Personal freedom, non-attachment, which again, if you fear letting go of or putting space in between you and your counterpart because of the perpetuation of toxic cycles, then you are attached via the ego. And you need to get to the root of that attachment so you can then heal that attachment. Okay? Individualism, being the fullest expression of you. And you have the power to shift your thoughts. All right? That is where it is. You have the power to shift your thoughts. Next, we have, I clicked on 202. That's where my fingers took me next. Faith and trust. Faith is a belief in the unseen, meaning you have to believe it before you will see it. Even Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote a book with that very title. You'll see it when you believe it. So you have to believe it first, then you see it. But we were all kind of brainwashed with this stupid little quote that says, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, that is completely giving our power away. That is implying that we have no power as creators and co-creators in this realm, which is an outright freaking bold-faced lie. We are here to learn how to harness energy, and that means to be an intentional creator, an intentional manifester, because that is what harnessing energy does. whatever we emit is exactly what we get. Miracles, oh my goodness, 202, miracles can and do happen when you are open to them. I just love these. This just gets me so excited. Faith in love is one of the messages here. Having faith in love, having faith in your twin flame love, your twin flame connection, having faith in the love that you are especially cultivating for yourself. Allowing yourself to have these big dreams, and again, not really giving a horse's patootie what he's doing. That you are owning you and you're rising and thriving into your power. Turbulence and change ahead. Wow, just kind of with that 555 as well. There's changes. And in order for the new to really rise up, the old has to fall away. And during that process of the old crumbling, it can get extremely turbulent. It can become downright excruciating, right? So just focus. What are you focusing on? This is why it's so important for you to have a vision, for you to allow yourself to dream. And trust me, sister, I know what it is to not allow yourself to dream. I was doing it lately these past few months because of the state of the world and what had unfolded, and of course the deeper healing that I needed to go through, the wounds that I needed revealed to me so I could then, be healing them. But what are you focusing on? That's what you're amplifying. So channel your energies toward what you want. Tune into your inner knowing, your intuition. The only real limits you ever know are the ones you create for yourself. All of these things I'm sitting here telling you, and they're just being amplified by our angel numbers today. And then last but of course not least, we have angel number 888. I'm so grateful that I made all these cool little, I just love them. They're so gorgeous. Abundance abounds. This reinvention of yourself, is it a lack version or is it an abundant version? And then it's learning how to embody that abundant energy. Embody what it feels like to be abundant. Practice that. If you have an abundance of something in your house, like I have an abundance of colored pens for journaling, so I can actually go in and dig my hands in there and just amplify that and go, oh my goodness, I have so many. I have more than what I could ever know what to do with. These are going to last me forever. This is so amazing. Like I could swim in all of these, really feeling into that abundance. You have an abundance of yarn. I used to have so much yarn. That would be a really, really good abundance practice. I had so much yarn, which I ended up selling a couple years ago. But prosperity, success, it is always darkest before the dawn. Choose to see the light and balance in life. Ooh. And right now, it's very much going to feel that way, because think about the caterpillar. Ooh. Imagine, what must the caterpillar think while it's in the cocoon? Yeah, you want to talk about an abyss. You want to talk about dismal. I mean, but it is. It's always darkest before the dawn. The energy of failure most often precedes that of success. So when you feel like everything is lost, everything is hopeless, it's not going to work out, and you start to literally lose hope and lose faith, and you start to give up, you start to stop doing the work and stop getting into alignment, well, you create suffering for yourself. Believe me, I know, sister, because you're not in a space where you are in your power. You're giving your power away by believing the nonsense in your mind that are telling you that this is never going to work, this is hopeless, you might as well give up. Create with intention, trust and believe in unlimited abundance. Oh my goodness, I love that. We're gonna put our little 202 over here, since that's the order I read them in. And that is our wonderful, amazing message for today. I love how the angel numbers just really enveloped the totality of the cards and their message that they have brought for us. But just to summarize, Goddess, it is up to you to tune into yourself, to be able to feel the magic and allow for the miracles to unfold in your life, to claim your power, to own your shift, and step into intentionally step into the version of yourself that is living the life that you desire. I assure you, for instance, for myself, the version of me that is traveling the world isn't like petrified to get on a plane, isn't afraid that, oh, if she leaves home, everything's going to fall apart. That no, everything's fine. I'm great. I trust. I surrender. I say yes. Everything is always working out for me because the universe always has my back. And it's so true, Goddess. Even when we think the universe has completely abandoned us, the universe is always there waiting for us to find our way back. Because it's never left us. Our guides have never left us. It's just our ego that tells us that bullshit story. And again, out of that chaos comes that order of, again, reuniting, reconnecting with ourselves, coming back home to ourselves and back into our power, and allowing ourselves to be excited about what we're creating, because again, we are reunited, and it feels so good. I don't even know exactly the tune of that song, but isn't like peaches and cream or something, peaches and herb or something. I don't even know. But that said, the power is in your hands, Goddess. And you are the only one that can get out of your own way and begin to allow yourself to get excited, to choose that which you are focusing on, which is the very thing that is either dimming your light or amplifying your light. And you are the one that has the choice in that. So what are you choosing? That said, dear Goddess, again, I remind you that the power to create any life you desire is in your hands, because it has always been inside you. Namaste.